Coming up on the latest edition of Tiger 411, we'll see if football could snap a two-game losing skid when they travel to Harrisonburg, Virginia to battle James Madison. Volleyball returned home to CQ Arena when they hosted two conference games, first against James Madison and then William & Mary. Soccer also returned home for two games this weekend. We have highlights from both games against UNCW and the College of Charleston. Plus, we'll be joined in studio by women's lacrosse head coach Sonia LaMonica to talk about the team's fall season. But don't worry, that's not all we have. Stick around to see what else is in store on the latest edition of Tiger 411, which is coming your way now. Hello, Tiger Nation, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Tiger 411. I'm your host, Zach Maskovich. After winning two straight games last month, Towson football has hit a bit of a wall since conference play began. Coming into Saturday's game, the Tigers were on a two-game losing skid, and this past Saturday, the Tigers hit the road for the first time since September 13th. Their destination, Harrisonburg, Virginia, to battle longtime rival James Madison. Towson looking for their first conference win of 2014 and to extend a 7-game road CAA win streak. However, Harrisonburg is always a tough place to play. First quarter, JMU up 6-0. Vad Lee drops back, and he meets Mr. Ryan Dallaire for the first time of the day. That's Dallaire's 7th sack in as many games, and that would force the Dukes to punt. Offensively, the Tigers were trying something new, playing two quarterbacks. Joe Brennan in for this drive, and Brennan drops back. He finds the Tigers' first-string quarterback, Connor Frazier, who makes the grab. Frazier actually saw some time last year at receiver, and he scored his first career receiving touchdown against the Dukes last year. Second quarter now, Dukes up 13-0 over the Tigers, 4th down. Suddenly, Ryan Dallaire bursts through the middle, forces the fumble, picked up by the Dukes lineman Dominique Richards, and he gets belted by Jordan Maynette. That forces a turnover on downs. But that's where things began to unravel for the Tigers. Brennan back in at quarterback, takes the snap, faces pressure off the edge, loses the football. It's snatched out of the air by Raheem Stallings, who sees nothing but daylight and scores easily. That touchdown puts JMU up 20-0. Next drive didn't get any better for Towson. Frazier back in at quarterback. He's picked off by the freshman Jimmy Moreland, who goes untouched into the end zone. And just like that, JMU starting to run away with this one. That score makes it 27-0 Dukes. Closing moments of the first half, the Dukes driving until Lee is intercepted by the Tigers' Eric Handy. Otherwise, the Dukes would have had an even bigger lead heading into the half. Second half now, and slightly better for the Tigers. Darius Victor up the middle for the 1-yard touchdown to put the Tigers on the board, but they trailed 34-7, and it would get worse before it ever got better. JMU ends up handing the Tigers their worst loss in school history, 62-7, as Towson drops their record to 2-5 overall, 0-3 in the CAA. Towson is now in a big hole as they need to bounce back this weekend when they travel to Delaware to take on the Blue Hens. Kickoff is set for 12:30. If you can't make it to the game, be sure to tune in on the Towson Sports Network as Spiro Marikis and Ron Meehan bring you all of the action. Coverage begins at noon with the Coors Light countdown to kickoff. After back-to-back road games up north, Towson Volleyball returned to CQ Arena this past weekend for two straight home matches. Friday, the Tigers hosted the JMU Dukes. Towson looking to build on their 3-1 win over Northeastern last week. The Tigers also looking to add to their impressive overall record as they sit at 15-3 overall. We pick up the action in the first set. Towson looking for set point. Paige Sakarik bumps it to Haley Paakala, who sends it over the net. It wasn't hit particularly hard, but the Dukes couldn't handle it, and the Tigers take set one, 25-20. The second set was much closer. JMU with the late 1-point lead until Saitawa Iosia steps behind the line. That's an ace, and it is huge as it ties the second set at 23. Still in the second set, now tied at 26. Amy Schubert sets up Candace Stedman, who lays down the hammer. Towson now up one, but you have to win by 2. Next point, Stedman would come up big yet again. Duke's going for the kill, and they are denied by the Stedman block, and that block gives the Tigers the second set as Towson wins 28-26, and they're up 2-0. To the third set now, the Tigers can wrap it up here with a point. The Dukes send it over, but Schubert going to set up Lindsay Flaherty. The Dukes can't return it, and Towson takes set 3 and the match by a 3-0 final as Towson improves to 16-3 on the year, and they got to go back on the floor Sunday night. Towson welcoming in William & Mary into CQ Arena. The Tigers looking to improve to 10-0 within the friendly confines of CQ. Towson wearing their black uniforms at home just to change things up a little bit. Towson took set 1, 25-19. We start in the second set. The Tigers with a slight lead. That's about to get bigger. Candace Stedman slams down the kill as she carried her momentum from Friday into Sunday. The Tigers lead in the second set 15-12. Still in the second set, Paige Sakarik serving for set point, and the Tribe aren't on the same page. You see what I did there? Paige Sakarik, same page. Oh, never mind. Anyway, Towson takes set 2, 25-23. To the third set, Towson only up 1, but that set changed when Eosia stepped back to serve. That's an ace for Eosia, building the Towson lead. Moments later, Towson starting to pull away. Schubert sets it back to Victoria Williams, and she unloads on the Tribe. Towson now up 6 in the third set. Towson running away with it now up 24-13. Teams trading volleys. Barbara Lopez sets up Paakala, who closes this one down. The Tigers take set 3, 25-13, and the match 3-0 to improve to 10-0 at home and 17-3 on the year. Volleyball now hits the road for 4 straight matches before returning home on October 30th when they battle Northeastern at 7 p.m. Get your tickets right here on TowsonTigers.com. We have to step aside, take a quick break, but when we come back, we have highlights from field hockey's battle with Delaware, women's soccer's busy weekend, as well as swimming and diving. As you can see, we still have a ton of show left, so stick around. Tiger 411 will be right back.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
We got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Right, sign that.
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Woo!
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
Inconceivable!
I'm the king of the world!
Thank you. Very little. I'll have what she's having.
Houston, we have a problem.
You talking to me?
Earmuffs!
Show me the mini!
Say hello to my little friend.
Pepsi Mini Cans. Little can. Epic satisfaction.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Welcome back to Tiger 411. I'm your host, Zach Maskovich. After back-to-back road games at Northeastern and Hofstra, the Tigers women's soccer team returned home this past weekend for 2 games. Friday afternoon, the Tigers welcomed in conference foe UNCW to the Tigers soccer complex. Towson looking to snap a 3-game losing skid in this game if they can pick up a W. First half, the Tigers pushing it forward. Katie Pons dribbling through the Seahawks, but she's going to be taken down from behind. That's a penalty, and the Tigers awarded the direct free kick. That's when sophomore Emily Marshall steps up, takes the kick, hits a great ball, but the Seahawks goalkeeper makes an unbelievable diving save to keep the game scoreless. The Tigers would give up a goal a few minutes later. We move to the second half now. Towson looking to pick up the equalizer. Natalia Pinckney passes it to Ponce. The Seahawks try to clear it, but oops, it goes right to Caitlin Axenfeld. She fires it into the back of the net. That ties things at 1 on Axenfeld's first goal of the year. We are tied at 1 apiece. Defensively, the Tigers played well, but UNCW looking to score here. The Tigers goalie Aaron Quinn makes a great diving save to deny the Seahawks the goal. But in the end, it wasn't enough as UNCW comes into Towson and hands the Tigers a 2-1 defeat. Towson didn't have to wait long to get back on the field as they battled the College of Charleston on Sunday afternoon, again back in the Tiger soccer complex. Towson still looking for their first conference win of the year. We start in the first half. Tigers on the corner kick. Caitlin Axenfeld able to get ahead on it, but she pushes it just wide, and the Tigers unable to capitalize on that opportunity. Still in the first half, Sophia Reed tries to dial it up from distance, but she hits it right at the Cougars goalie, who makes the save and yet again denies the Tigers at the back of the net and keeps this game scoreless. Second half now, Tigers on the corner kick. Emily Marshall serves it in. It gets punched right back to her. She's going to put it up in the air. Maddie Beauvais tries to head it in, but another save from the Charleston keeper. In fact, at the end of regulation, it was still tied. In overtime, Beauvais gets another good look, but it just wasn't meant to be. The Tigers and the Cougars end in a scoreless draw 0-0 as the Tigers' record becomes 3-8-3 overall. As you saw in the score graphic there, the Tigers' next game is on October 17th when they battle the Delaware Blue Hens up in Delaware. Field hockey is coming off a tough 3-game road trip where they most recently fell to Columbia 5-3 in New York. On Sunday, the Tigers came back home for the first time since September 28th. The Tigers welcoming in the Delaware Blue Hens into Johnny Unitas Stadium. On a beautiful Sunday afternoon, head coach Carly Campana would love to pick up her first career win over her alma mater as a head coach. Plus, it would be a nice win over a huge rival, which really never hurts anything. Early in the first half, we are scoreless, but not for long. The Tigers on the attack, working the ball down the field with a few nice passes. The ball trickles past the Blue Hens keeper. Heather Jenny puts the Tigers on the board with her 4th goal of the year. Towson with a 1-0 lead over Delaware. After giving up a goal to the Blue Hens, Delaware looking to add to that lead with the corner attempt. They get on the doorstep, but Emily Woodell makes sure that they don't score with some diving saves. She's going all over the place and makes a bunch of nice saves there to deny Delaware and keep this game tied at 1. Still in the first, Woodell at it again. She makes a great diving save this time, one of her game-high 12 saves on the day. But despite the great play from Woodell, it wasn't enough as the Tigers fall to the Blue Hens by a 2-1 final and drop their record to 2-10 overall, 0-3 in the CAA. The Tigers remain at home this Friday when they go out of conference to battle VCU inside Johnny Unitas Stadium at 6 o'clock p.m. Also in action this weekend was the Tigers men's and women's swimming and diving teams as they competed in their first home meet of the year. Burdick Pool is the site of the Tigers' home races as they welcomed in William and Mary as well as Georgetown for this meet. The Tigers looking to defend their home pool as they so normally do. The Tigers got off to a great start. Taking a look here at Macy Arnold as she touches the wall first in the 1,000-yard freestyle. And really after that, the Tigers never looked back. We now take a look at Charlotte Holes, who picked up where Arnold left off in the freestyle. This one a bit of a shorter distance, but nonetheless, Holes picks up the victory in the 200-yard free. Diving is a luxury the Tigers have to add points to their team score, and it helps propel the team to victory, and it never hurts when you have Lindsey Dixon, as that seems to happen more times than not. She takes the top spot in the 3-meter dive with an overall score of 293.40. But of course, the women's team wasn't the only team in action. As I mentioned, the men's team, take a look now. This is a tight men's race in the 100-yard butterflies. The Tigers' Matt McKinney just edges out the William & Mary swimmer in lane 3 to take first in the 100-yard butterfly. The Tigers make it look easy as both the men and women sweep William & Mary and Georgetown. The Tigers return to the water on October 25th when they travel to Norfolk, Virginia to battle the Monarchs of Old Dominion at 1 o'clock p.m. We have to step aside, take another break, but when we come back, I'll be joined in studio by the head coach of the Tigers women's lacrosse team, Sonia LaMonica. This is an interview you don't want to miss. Tiger 411, we'll be right back.
So what you got on deck?
Skyfall, Lean In, then some Pinterest. You?
Twitter, Minecraft, and then some Hunger Games. Boom.
Oh, you guys are all set, huh?
Oh, yeah. New Amazon Fire Phone.
It comes with Amazon Prime. Tons of cool stuff for no extra charge.
Really? It comes with Amazon Prime?
Yeah, there's so much to watch.
I've been on this earth 9 years. I've never seen anything like it.
The new Amazon Fire Phone with a full year of Prime included, exclusively on AT&T.
Mariner Finance is a consumer finance company, so we offer personal loans.
Mariner Finance is a great place to work. It's a great thing for anyone with the entrepreneurial spirit.
Everybody in every office has an opportunity to achieve and grow.
Be your own leader. Be a leader amongst the fellow coworkers in your office.
The training and development that we do at Mariner Finance is one-on-one. Someone who has been there, done it, experienced it.
There is no better feeling.
Learn with us.
Grow with us.
Run with us.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Welcome back to Tiger 411. Joining us now in studio, the head coach of the women's lacrosse team here at Towson, Sonia LaMonica. And Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Zach.
Now, you're getting ready, or you guys started your fall season last weekend. You guys have a couple of scrimmages coming up this weekend. But first, let's start with last weekend. You take on a bunch of Big Ten teams at Johns Hopkins. You take on Michigan, Louisville from the ACC, and Rutgers from the Big Ten as well. So how did this weekend go for you guys?
You know, it's great. It was our first opportunity to get out and play somebody aside from ourselves, which every coach is always excited about. You get a bit of a gauge where you're at and, you know, what we've got to kind of focus in on. So it was nice to finally get out, compete against some other teams and get our freshmen in the mix, start building that chemistry amongst the team and give everybody a good run. And, you know, we achieved that. I thought, you know, we took a lot of positives away. And certainly, you know, a lot to build on from here. So, you know, I'm really encouraged with the group that we're working with this year, and you know what we can develop into come season.
Now, you guys graduated some big roles in the team, but not big numbers as far as losing the number of players. So you have a core returning. You've added some new freshmen. In the fall season, are you looking to see what the newer faces are doing, since you're already kind of familiar with some of the old heads, so to speak?
Yeah, definitely a lot is about sort of these freshmen transitioning them to the college game. We all know that it's a big transition. The speed of the game, for women's lacrosse, takes a big jump. And so it's really important, and for us with the building program and bringing in some real strong talent recruiting wise, we're hoping to get these freshmen in the mix as early as possible. So by getting them the experience against some top teams, it's really going to throw them in, see what they can handle, and get them acclimated to our collegiate games. So. But we're obviously, clean slate. It's a new year, so we're evaluating everybody. And, things change from year to year. Your leadership changes, just the whole dynamic. Players surprise you. So I like to see how players respond when, we go back to that kind of reset mode. It's a new year, so show us what you got.
Yeah.
And, you can find some players who have maybe been in reserve roles who really emerge and, it's kind of like a light switch goes off, don't have much time left in your career, and sometimes you can have those surprises, and sometimes certain combinations work well. Certain players play really well together. So we're looking at all of that, and just getting them out there and getting them playing. So it's early, and it's about having fun too. So.
Now, coming up this weekend, you'll be hosting a 5-on-5 tournament for some local high schools or high schools to come in and play. Yeah. So you'll get a bunch of women's lacrosse players on campus, and then after all the tournament's over, you'll host a scrimmage with Penn State. So tell me a little bit about what you're expecting from this weekend.
Yeah, so we're excited to have Penn State come down, a great program, and it'll be a great sort of challenge to us being, a week later from having a chance to sort of go back and work on some things we need to work on, and see how the team responds. And, we'll obviously have our 5v5 tournament before that. So it'll be a great day of lacrosse. We are excited about being able to host a team when we've got a lot of high school players on campus to kind of showcase, our great facilities, to come watch our Tiger team in action, and just to be a part of some great lacrosse and what's hopefully shaping up for some good weather. It should be really fun.
Earlier in the month, you named captains for this year's team. Doesn't come as a big surprise for anybody that's watched the Tiger team. Andy Raymond, Kelsey Donnelly, some names that come up a lot when we're talking about this women's lacrosse team. So how are they embracing their leadership role?
Yeah, they have great characters. They are extremely hard workers, and they really deeply care about what we're doing. And so I'm really confident in these two, who were selected to by their peers. I think they've really earned the respect. They lead in different ways, and together I think they work well. So, we have those two captains sort of leading our way this year, and they're surrounded by a great senior class who, as a coach, I lean on all the seniors to really set the tone and help lead this program, because we'll go as far as our leaders can take us. So I think they're going to do a great job. It's always an important role, and a role you can't take a day off. They've got to constantly set the example for the younger players, for them to look up to and to emulate. So we're expecting that from them.
We talk about seniors now. Last year, we saw you play a lot more freshmen than you normally ever have, at least that I've noticed. I could be wrong there, but a lot of freshman faces seeing the field and getting significant playing time and contributing in big ways for the team. You got a new freshman class in here. Do you see anybody stepping up and playing right away?
It will be similar to last year. I anticipate we'll have a number of freshmen, in the mix, vying for plenty of playing time, potentially starting. We've got some real strong talent coming in. We have a number of freshmen who I anticipate are going to work their way into some lineups. So, Caitlin Montalbano is one that comes straight to mind. She's a powerful midfielder out of Long Island, and she's very explosive. She plays very intense, and in all honesty, I think she's raised the intensity of just our practices alone, because she's in front of the running packs. She's just setting the tone, and for a freshman to come in and do that is very exciting. So I think she has really high expectations for herself. And, that's helping drive our whole class in the freshman year, as well as our whole team. So I'm really excited for what will transpire with her as the season comes around. We've also got some talent on our attacking end. Jenica is a local product who's just got incredible stick work, great sense for the game, plays very well around the crease, great finisher, good size. So she's got all the attributes to make a strong impact and potentially fill some of those roles that maybe Ashley Rohrback had played for us in the past. Erica Cavallo is another attacker who, out of Jersey, New Jersey, she is just a powerful, explosive dodger, who's giving some of our veteran defenders a run for their money. So, again, how the mental side transitions for them will be critical in how it plays out in the spring, but what they're showing physically out on the field right now is very exciting. And we've got a Canadian in the mix, which is exciting. Our first international flavor on the team.
There you go.
Emily Gillingham, she's a lefty who grew up playing boys box lacrosse. So
that'll bode well.
Yep, that's going to bode well. She's got a knack for finding the net. She's got those Canadian wrists that give her great stick skills, and being a lefty is a nice piece, nice element to our game. So she's another one that I think is going to kind of work into the mix. And defensively we've got some players. Steph Costa, if I would think of somebody she resembles, would be Nadia Poto.
Okay.
She's got that kind of speed, quickness, athleticism, great at breaking the ball down the field. And she's just, learning the ins and outs of our defensive unit, which takes some time. So she's another one that, could potentially work in the mix. But, the whole class is very exciting. We've got a bright future with those guys.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I can't wait to see them take the field for the first time coming up this spring. But, Coach, thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks, Zach.
Don't go anywhere. We still have more Tiger 411 on the other side of this break.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
Wise Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl and chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Welcome back to Tiger 411. I'm your host, Zach Maskovich. Unfortunately, we're almost out of time in this edition of Tiger 411, but as usual, let's take a look at all of the action going on in Tiger Town this week. That's going to do it for this edition of Tiger 411. Before we sign off, I want to give a special shout out to Damon Lewis. Damon is the one that started the Towson Sports Network here, and without him doing that, I wouldn't have a job here. Tiger 411 wouldn't be something that you and I enjoy every single week. Damon gets ready to move on to Southern Mississippi as the Golden Eagles get ready to have one of the best in the business. Damon, I just want to thank you not only for everything you've done for me, but the entire athletics department here at Towson. You're certainly going to be missed, but we always know that we'll stay in touch. I also want to thank Sonia LaMonica for stopping by the studio here today as we get ready to sign off here at Tiger 411. Once again, I'm Zach Maskovich. Until next week, go Tigers.